Good day, YouTubers, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world. There we are, gluing on rubbing stakes. Last week I showed you first couple rubbing stakes that we got installed. And I just wanted to show you how I was doing it. Get a liberal amount of glue on that plank. You can see this thing is only a half a millimeter thick, so I got to make sure I got an even coat. I don't want it to have a bunch of squeeze out. And then I'll just wipe that off for the next board. Get around here. And right here in the middle. No. Trying to see where the last seam is. Yep. So you can see where my last board I put on, it dead ends right there. So I'm going to put this on here and then cut it off and use the rest of it in the front. Just make sure it's up against the board above it. And get it mushed down good. Take my cutters, Now this cut in I'm going to let hang over the front. I've had really good luck putting these on, other than this little bit of arc up here at the very front. I'm having to pin it down to get it to hold up against the hull. So before I pin that, I want to make sure it's mashed in the surface below real good. And now we got to get a little pin to hold that. There's a little bit of arc there. We want to get that to stay down. I'm using some of these used pins. Well, that's really hard there. I ain't gonna be able to get that one and throw it away. Trying to find a good used pin. There we go. and just bend that where it puts a little bit of pressure on the board. Not enough to, it'll poke right through it if you put too much pressure on it. But that's holding it up against the edge where it dead ends at there. And later on we'll cut and sand that off so we're flush with this front part. So now let's get another one up here. I'm getting low enough in my bottle of glue I can't tell how far I'm dipping. Sometimes I get too much. Yeah, I was planting some taters and green beans, squash, and onions this morning. That joint right there is the one that's you want to be tight. This board is so pliable it's easy to work with, so get that joint tight and then push the rest of it up. Put a lot of pressure on it. You can banish it a little bit. Make sure it's down good. A little high right there, ain't it? That might be a plank underneath it that's doing that. We'll sand this a little bit too when we get done. Got one more on the end. I think we got to go down 12. I have to look at the plans again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So after this one, I'm pretty sure we got 4 more, 12 overall on one side. I just cut the excess off of that one. We'll use that excess as a starter for the next one. Yep. Not a whole lot of science to this. Just get the glue on there if I had some kind of a roller applicator, that would be ideal. You could just roll it out on there like sheetrock mud or something. So we cut that in. We don't want to use it on the part we're butting together here. We want to make sure we got a factory butt. So remember which end you cut it on. So that's how easy it goes. Rubbing steaks. Got air conditioner on this morning. Before I go outside, put my brush in the water. Now we harvested all the stuff that was here, and I just planted some potatoes this morning, so we'll have some taters coming up here soon. And then we got a new blackberry bush. These are blueberries, and that's a tea plant. 3 blueberries and a blackberry. Asparagus. We've already harvested some sunflowers. Then I think last week we were showing these things full of dirt and empty of plants. So we got green beans, cabbage, and radishes are looking rough. Might make a few of them. This is one of our secrets, sardines in water. And when we plant stuff in there, starters, we'll put that in the hole that we're digging open. So I just planted a bunch of squash seeds. A row there in the middle, a row here in the front, and a row in the back. In here with these zucchinis. And then over here we got some cucumbers, and then some tomatoes, and I think mixed in with tomatoes we got some okra. And then I went and got dirt with my dad, and we got these finished up, and this is full of peas. Or beans. There's a whole bunch of beans in there. That thing's gonna be looking like a jungle here in a couple weeks. And this is full of onions. Whole bunch of onions in there. 4 rows of them. Chick, chick. Chick, chick. What are the chicks up to? Oh, ducks and chicks. Oh, laying around. They're growing fast. And ducks are giant. They're starting to get up on these roosting bars. And they're growing good. Them little black ones will let you go up and touch them. We got a mirror there in the background behind the fence so they can look at each other and look at themselves. And they're not big enough yet to get up here to the nesting box. Them ducks go out in that swimming pool every morning and swim. Daffy and Donald. I got a fan running during the day on a timer, and then at nighttime I got a night light in here that comes on and it shines light in both directions, so this place isn't pitch dark at night. That way the chickens can actually see the roosting bars after it gets dark outside and they come into the coop and the doors close. There's a little bit of light in there so they can see the roosting bars to get up there and roost instead of sleeping on the ground. So I'm gonna do some more rubbing steaks in my AC, try to get these 4 more on. Then we'll look at the plans and see if there's anything else on one side before we switch over to the other side. I just put clean water in there yesterday and they've already mudded it up. They love that thing. I might get them a bigger pool. Okay, as we can see, the rubbing steaks go down to what appears to be the water line. And they wrap around the front of the bow. Four or five layers down. And then the last one stops there. And then, of course, this section is telling us to repeat over on the right of the screen. We pull that bar over, you can see this RR is a repeat symbol for doing the same thing on the other side. So we do wrap around the bow and stop where the keel line is, and see where the spot where it goes above the edge of the bow plate, the bow deck gets cut off. So we got one side done. After I do the other side, then we get to do something new. This is going to be exciting because we've been doing planking for months, and this is going to be something to look forward to. A little change in pace. So, turn the lights back on. And I got this set where everything is zoomed in and the lights are just right for filming. So there's the front of the bow, and you can see how I put pins in. Of course, we got to take the pins out and clean up that line. And the same up here. Got some pins in there to hold that in where it hugs up against the hull on the side of the ship. And that's the bottom row. We get in there. And I counted these, and this is matching the drawing. And then we got a little cleanup back here to trim off. After we do that trimming and pulling pins and stuff, we'll flip it over and do the other side. That's good progress for this week. I was busy doing other stuff again, as usual. I just finished mowing the grass. So onward to some new stuff after we get this other side done. And this does go pretty quick. Just got to make sure you get enough glue on there. See, there's a little bit hanging over the edge here. I got to trim off. I finished the last of that yesterday. Tell everybody thanks for watching, Mufasa.